Dinah, the only daughter of Jacob and Leah, holds a significant yet somber place in biblical history. Her story is one of tragedy, honor, and profound impact on her family and the tribes of Israel. In this video, we will delve into the life of Dinah, exploring the circumstances of her birth, the pivotal events that shaped her destiny, and the broader implications of her story within the context of the Bible. Dinah, whose name means judgment or vindicated, was born into the significant lineage of Jacob, the patriarch of the Israelites. Jacob had two wives, Leah and Rachel, and two concubines, Bilhah and Zilpah, through whom he fathered 12 sons and one daughter, Dinah. Dinah was the seventh child of Leah, making her the full sister of Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Leah, feeling unloved compared to her sister Rachel, viewed each of her children as a sign of God's favor and blessing. Dinah's birth, therefore, carried both familial and spiritual significance, marking another act of divine justice in Leah's eyes. Dinah's place as the only daughter in a family dominated by male siblings was unique. In a patriarchal society where sons were often prioritized, Dinah's presence in the biblical narrative highlights the diverse roles women played, even if less frequently mentioned. Her birth is briefly noted in Genesis 30 verse 21. Later, Leah gave birth to a daughter and named her Dinah. This succinct mention, however, does not diminish the weight of her story, which unfolds with dramatic intensity in later chapters. Growing up in a large, nomadic family meant that Dinah's early years were filled with movement and constant change. The family's travels took them across various regions, exposing Dinah to different cultures and peoples. Her brothers, who would eventually become the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel, had roles and responsibilities that would shape the future of their people. Meanwhile, Dinah, though not destined to lead a tribe, played a pivotal role in a story that would influence her family's dynamics and legacy. The environment in which Dinah was raised was one of religious devotion and cultural traditions. Jacob, who had wrestled with God and received the name Israel, led his family with a sense of divine purpose. This spiritual atmosphere was a crucial aspect of Dinah's upbringing. She learned about the promises made to her grandfather Abraham, the experiences of her father Jacob, and the importance of maintaining their covenant with God. These narratives would have been integral to her understanding of her identity and her family's destiny. Dinah's birth and early life also set the stage for the familial tensions that later erupted in Shechem. The competitive relationship between Leah and Rachel, Jacob's favoritism, and the ambitions of her brothers created a complex familial web. These dynamics contributed to the intensity of the reactions when Dinah's story took a tragic turn in Shechem. As the family moved towards the fulfillment of God's promises, each member's actions, including those involving Dinah, played a part in shaping their collective destiny. Thus, Dinah's birth is not just a minor footnote in the genealogy of Jacob's family, but a crucial element that underscores the intricate tapestry of faith, family, and divine justice. Her story, beginning with her birth, serves as a prelude to events that would challenge the family's unity and test their faith in profound ways. Dinah's early life, set against the backdrop of a nomadic and patriarchal society, was undoubtedly unique and filled with challenges. Being the only daughter among 12 brothers meant that Dinah's daily experiences and familial interactions were distinct from those of her siblings. Growing up in a large family that frequently moved across regions, Dinah was exposed to a diverse array of environments and cultures from a young age. This nomadic lifestyle, driven by her father Jacob's journeys, brought her into contact with various peoples and traditions, shaping her worldview and understanding of her place within her family and society. Living with 12 brothers, Dinah's role within the family was multifaceted. Her brothers were future leaders of the tribes of Israel, and their upbringing involved learning the skills and responsibilities necessary for leadership and survival. Dinah, while not being prepared for leadership in the same way, likely shared in many of the household duties typical for women of that time. She would have been involved in tasks such as cooking, weaving, and caring for the younger children. These responsibilities not only prepared her for adulthood, but also provided her with a sense of purpose within the family structure. The cultural and familial setting of Dinah's early life was heavily influenced by the spiritual and religious traditions upheld by her father Jacob. Jacob's profound encounters with God, including his vision of the ladder reaching to heaven and his wrestling with the angel, instilled a strong sense of divine mission within the family. Dinah grew up hearing stories of her grandfather Abraham's covenant with God, her father's struggles and triumphs, and the promises of a great nation to come. These narratives were more than just stories. They were the foundation of her family's identity and their understanding of their relationship with God. Despite the prominence of her brothers, Dinah's presence was significant in its own right. In a society that often overlooked women, Dinah's existence within the biblical narrative highlights the important, albeit often unspoken, roles women played. Her early interactions with her brothers and her involvement in family affairs positioned her uniquely within the family dynamics. These relationships would later influence the dramatic events in Shechem, where her brother's fierce protection of her honor would lead to significant consequences for their family and their relations with other tribes. The family's constant movement also meant that Dinah had to adapt to new settings regularly. This adaptability was crucial in a world where stability was rare, and each new environment brought its own set of challenges and opportunities. The values and teachings of her parents, Leah and Jacob, would have been central in helping her navigate these changes. Leah, who had experienced her own share of struggles and triumphs, likely provided Dinah with wisdom and guidance on maintaining faith and resilience in the face of adversity. Dinah's early life, therefore, was a blend of familial duties, cultural teachings, and spiritual guidance. This period laid the groundwork for the person she would become and set the stage for the pivotal events that would later unfold in her life. Her upbringing within the vibrant and complex family of Jacob was integral to understanding her role in the broader narrative of the Israelites, and it highlights the often overlooked contributions of women in biblical history. The incident in Shechem marks a significant and tragic turning point in the life of Dinah, Jacob's only daughter. The Bible recounts that Dinah went out to visit the women of the land, indicating her desire to engage with the broader community outside her immediate family. This seemingly innocent outing, however, led to a series of events that would have profound and far-reaching consequences. As Dinah explored Shechem, she encountered Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, a local prince. The Bible narrates that Shechem saw her, took her, and raped her. Genesis 34 verse 2. This act of violence against Dinah was not just a personal violation, but also a severe affront to her family's honor and the customs of the time. In ancient Near Eastern cultures, the integrity and honor of women were closely tied to their family's social standing and dignity. Dinah's defilement was, therefore, a grave insult to Jacob and his sons. Shechem, however, seemed to be genuinely enamored with Dinah following the assault. He spoke tenderly to her and expressed a strong desire to marry her, asking his father Hamor to arrange the marriage. Hamor approached Jacob with the proposal, offering to make an alliance through marriage and to allow the Israelites to intermarry and settle among them. He also offered to pay a substantial bride price to gain Jacob's consent. This approach suggests that despite the initial violence, Shechem and Hamor sought to rectify the situation according to their customs and laws. Jacob, upon hearing the news, held his reaction until his sons returned from the fields. The brothers were deeply grieved and furious when they learned of their sister's plight. Their anger stemmed not only from the violation of their sister, but also from the perceived attempt by Shechem and Hamor to buy their family's honor with wealth and alliances. This incident ignited a fierce protective instinct among the brothers, particularly Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, who felt a profound responsibility to uphold their sister's honor. The Bible notes that the brothers deceived Hamor and Shechem by agreeing to the marriage on one condition: that all the males in Shechem be circumcised. They argued that it was impossible for them to give their sister to an uncircumcised man, as it would be a disgrace to their family. Hamor and Shechem agreed to this condition, convincing the men of their city to undergo circumcision, which they presented as a beneficial alliance with Jacob's prosperous family. 3 days after the circumcision, while the men of Shechem were still in pain and unable to defend themselves, Simeon and Levi took their swords and attacked the city. They killed all the males, including Hamor and Shechem, rescued Dinah, and plundered the city. This act of vengeance was brutal and decisive, demonstrating the lengths to which Dinah's brothers would go to defend their sister's honor and assert their dominance. Jacob was distressed by his son's actions, fearing retribution from the neighboring tribes and the potential danger it posed to his entire household. He confronted Simeon and Levi, criticizing them for bringing trouble upon the family. Despite Jacob's concerns, the brothers defended their actions, insisting that they could not allow their sister to be treated as a prostitute. The incident in Shechem underscores the complex interplay of personal violation, family honor, and violent retribution. It highlights the intense loyalty and protectiveness that characterized Dinah's brothers and the severe consequences of violating the social and moral codes of the time. This event not only shaped Dinah's life, but also had lasting repercussions for Jacob's family and their relationships with the surrounding peoples. The defilement of Dinah and the aftermath of this incident had profound implications for Jacob's family and their interactions with surrounding communities. The immediate response to Dinah's defilement was a mixture of shock, grief, and anger. When Jacob learned of the violation, he remained silent until his sons returned from the fields. His silence might have been due to the gravity of the situation and the need to devise a response that would not only address the injustice but also maintain the family's safety and honor. Upon returning and learning of their sister's plight, Dinah's brothers were incensed. Their reaction was fueled by a deep sense of family honor and justice. The Bible describes their anger as intense and righteous, reflecting the societal norms of the time, where the honor of women was intrinsically linked to the honor of the family. This cultural context is crucial in understanding the brothers' subsequent actions. Hamor, the father of Shechem, sought to resolve the issue diplomatically by proposing a marriage between Dinah and Shechem. He offered substantial dowries and suggested an alliance through intermarriage, which would benefit both parties economically and socially. However, this proposition was met with deception by Dinah's brothers, who harbored intentions of exacting revenge. The brothers agreed to the marriage on the condition that all the males in Shechem be circumcised. This demand was strategic, exploiting the physical vulnerability of the Shechemites during their recovery. Hamor and Shechem, driven by the desire to legitimize Shechem's act and integrate with Jacob's prosperous family, convinced their townsmen to comply with this painful and significant cultural rite. 3 days later, while the men of Shechem were still incapacitated from the circumcision, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, launched a brutal and calculated attack on the city. They killed all the males, including Hamor and Shechem, and rescued Dinah. This act of retribution was severe and uncompromising, reflecting the brothers' view that such a violation could only be answered with complete eradication of the offending party. The aftermath of this massacre was far-reaching. The other brothers joined Simeon and Levi in plundering the city, seizing livestock, women, children, and wealth. This comprehensive destruction was a statement of their unwillingness to tolerate any dishonor brought upon their family. However, it also brought significant risks. Jacob, upon learning of the massacre, expressed grave concerns about the potential repercussions from neighboring tribes. He feared that their actions had made them odious to the inhabitants of the land, endangering their survival. Jacob's rebuke of Simeon and Levi highlights a critical aspect of the aftermath: the balance between justice and prudence. While he did not condone the defilement of Dinah, he recognized the peril their actions had invited. Simeon and Levi defended their actions by asserting that they could not allow their sister to be treated as a prostitute, emphasizing the importance of familial honor over potential political alliances or safety. This incident also had lasting effects on the internal dynamics of Jacob's family. The violent response of Simeon and Levi, while initially supported by their brothers, later became a point of contention. In his final blessings to his sons, Jacob condemned Simeon and Levi's violence, reflecting the enduring impact of their actions on his perception of them and their legacy. The defilement of Dinah and its aftermath illustrate the complexities of justice, honor, and retribution in the biblical context. It underscores the lengths to which individuals would go to protect family honor and the severe consequences of such actions. This episode, while highlighting the vulnerabilities and values of the time, also serves as a sobering reminder of the intricate interplay between personal violations and collective responses, shaping the course of Jacob's family and their future in the land of Canaan. The revenge carried out by Simeon and Levi in response to the defilement of their sister Dinah is one of the most dramatic and intense episodes in the book of Genesis. Their actions were driven by a profound sense of honor and retribution, reflecting the values and cultural norms of their time. The brothers' decision to exact revenge was not a spontaneous act of anger, but a calculated and deliberate plan to restore their family's honor and deliver justice as they saw fit. After Shechem, the son of Hamor, violated Dinah, the brothers were incensed. Their anger was not just personal but also cultural, as such a violation was seen as a grave dishonor to their family. When Hamor and Shechem came to negotiate Dinah's hand in marriage and propose a peaceful resolution, Simeon and Levi saw an opportunity to exact their revenge. They took their swords and attacked the city, killing every male, including Hamor and Shechem. This brutal act of retribution was swift and ruthless, designed to send a clear message about the consequences of dishonoring their sister. The killing spree did not end with the deaths of the men. Simeon and Levi's actions were followed by their brothers looting the city. This comprehensive destruction and plundering were intended to erase any power or threat the Shechemites could pose and to assert the dominance of Jacob's family. Jacob's reaction to the massacre was one of alarm and disapproval. He feared the potential backlash from neighboring tribes and the danger it posed to his entire household. Jacob reprimanded Simeon and Levi, saying, "You have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious to the Canaanites and Perizzites, the people living in this land. We are few in number, and if they join forces against me and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed." Genesis 34 verse 30. Jacob's concern was practical and rooted in the need for survival amidst hostile territories. Despite Jacob's fears, Simeon and Levi defended their actions by stating that they could not tolerate their sister being treated as a prostitute. Their defense highlights the cultural imperatives of the time, where family honor and retribution were paramount. Their actions, though extreme, were consistent with the values and expectations of their society regarding family and honor. The aftermath of their revenge had long-lasting implications. Jacob's rebuke and the violence of their actions echoed through the family's history. When Jacob later blessed his sons, he remembered this incident and condemned Simeon and Levi's fierce anger and cruel actions, indicating that their violent retribution had marred their legacy. He said, "Cursed be their anger, so fierce, and their fury so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel." Genesis 49 verse 7. This prophecy foretold the future dispersion of the tribes of Simeon and Levi among the other tribes of Israel. The revenge of Simeon and Levi is a stark reminder of the complexities of justice and honor in biblical times. Their actions were driven by a deep sense of familial duty and a desire to uphold their sister's honor, but the brutality of their response also highlighted the potential for excess and the far-reaching consequences of such vengeance. This episode underscores the tensions between personal justice and broader societal impacts, shaping the narrative of Jacob's family and their interactions with the surrounding peoples. Jacob's reaction to the violent actions of Simeon and Levi in Shechem reveals the complex dynamics within his family and the broader implications for their future. Upon learning of the massacre, Jacob was both horrified and deeply concerned about the consequences of his son's actions. His primary fear was the potential retaliation from the neighboring tribes, which could endanger the entire household. Jacob confronted Simeon and Levi, expressing his dismay and fear. "You have brought trouble on me by making me obnoxious to the Canaanites and Perizzites, the people living in this land. We are few in number, and if they join forces against me and attack me, I and my household will be destroyed." Genesis 34 verse 30. This response highlights Jacob's practical concerns about survival in a hostile environment. As a relatively small group, the Israelites were vulnerable to attacks from larger, united forces. Jacob's rebuke underscores his awareness of the precarious position his family occupied among the powerful city-states and tribes of Canaan. Simeon and Levi, however, defended their actions by arguing that they could not allow their sister to be treated like a prostitute. This defense reflects the strong emphasis on family honor and the severe cultural taboos against sexual violation. Their stance illustrates the values of the time, where the honor and purity of women were directly tied to the family's social standing and integrity. This intense protective instinct, while understandable, resulted in actions that had far-reaching negative consequences. The massacre of Shechem and Jacob's subsequent fears marked a turning point for the family. The immediate impact was an increased sense of isolation and hostility from their neighbors. The violent retribution led to a reputation that could provoke fear and resentment, making it difficult to form alliances or live peacefully among other tribes. This event also strained internal family dynamics, as Jacob's disappointment in his son's actions revealed underlying tensions about leadership and moral decisions. Long-term, the actions of Simeon and Levi had implications for the future distribution of the tribes of Israel. When Jacob later blessed his sons before his death, he remembered the violence of Simeon and Levi, and their blessing reflected this. Jacob said, "Cursed be their anger, so fierce, and their fury so cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel." Genesis 49 verse 7. This prophecy foretold the dispersal of Simeon's descendants among the other tribes and the Levi tribe's unique role without a territorial inheritance, emphasizing their separation and the long-lasting impact of their actions. The family impact of the Shechem incident extended beyond immediate survival concerns. It influenced the tribal structures and roles within the future nation of Israel. Levi's descendants, despite the curse, later found a significant role as the priestly tribe, responsible for religious duties and serving God directly. This transformation from a violent past to a sacred duty illustrates the complex ways in which family actions and divine plans interweave in biblical narratives. Jacob's reaction also underscores his role as a patriarch trying to balance justice, family honor, and practical survival. His rebuke of Simeon and Levi, coupled with his fear of retaliation, shows his dual concerns for maintaining family unity and ensuring their safety. Jacob's leadership was constantly tested by the actions of his sons, each of whom had strong personalities and differing visions for their family's future. In conclusion, Jacob's reaction to the Shechem massacre and the impact on his family highlight the delicate balance of maintaining honor, seeking justice, and ensuring survival in a hostile environment. The episode reveals the deep-seated values and tensions within Jacob's family, shaping their future and the destinies of the tribes of Israel. This narrative provides a profound exploration of the interplay between individual actions, family dynamics, and broader societal consequences, offering insights into the complexities of leadership and legacy in the biblical context. The broader implications of the incident in Shechem extend far beyond the immediate actions and reactions of Jacob's family. This episode, involving the defilement of Dinah and the subsequent violent retaliation by Simeon and Levi, sheds light on the complexities of justice, morality, and social dynamics in the biblical context. It also raises significant ethical and cultural questions that resonate throughout the narrative of the Israelites. Firstly, the incident highlights the severe consequences of violating social and moral norms. In the ancient Near Eastern context, the honor and purity of women were paramount, deeply intertwined with the family's reputation and social standing. Dinah's defilement by Shechem was not merely a personal affront, but a grievous breach of social ethics, necessitating a response to restore honor. Simeon and Levi's extreme reaction, while violent, underscores the lengths to which families would go to protect and restore their honor. This reflects a broader cultural imperative where personal and family reputation was closely guarded, and any violation demanded swift and decisive action. Secondly, the massacre at Shechem brings to the forefront the ethical dilemmas faced by Jacob and his sons. While the brothers' actions were driven by a sense of justice and retribution, they also posed moral questions about the extent of acceptable retaliation. The complete destruction of Shechem, involving the killing of innocent men, highlights the moral ambiguity and the potential for excess in seeking justice. This raises questions about the balance between justice and mercy and the ethical boundaries of retribution. Jacob's response to the incident further illustrates the tensions between familial loyalty and broader ethical considerations. His condemnation of Simeon and Levi's actions, coupled with his fear of retribution from neighboring tribes, reflects his awareness of the wider social and political implications. Jacob's rebuke underscores the need for caution and prudence in a volatile environment, where actions driven by honor could lead to greater danger for the family. This tension between immediate justice and long-term survival is a recurring theme in the narrative of the Israelites. The incident also has significant cultural implications. It highlights the complex interactions between different tribes and peoples in the ancient Near East. The willingness of Shechem and Hamor to negotiate and integrate with Jacob's family through marriage suggests a potential for alliances and peaceful coexistence. However, the violent response by Simeon and Levi shattered this possibility, leading to increased hostility and isolation. This episode thus reflects the fragile nature of intertribal relationships and the challenges of maintaining peace and cooperation in a diverse and competitive landscape. Moreover, the Shechem incident serves as a crucial narrative moment that foreshadows future conflicts and themes in the biblical story. The actions of Simeon and Levi and their eventual dispersion among the tribes of Israel, as foretold by Jacob, indicate the long-lasting consequences of their choices. This dispersion underscores the theme of divine justice and the complex interplay between human actions and divine plans. The transformation of the tribe of Levi into a priestly role, despite their violent past, highlights the potential for redemption and the evolving roles within the Israelite community. The ethical and cultural dilemmas posed by the Shechem incident also resonate with broader theological themes in the Bible. The narrative explores the tension between human justice and divine will, and the ways in which personal and communal actions intersect with divine plans. It raises questions about the nature of justice, the limits of retribution, and the possibilities for redemption and transformation. In conclusion, the broader implications of the incident in Shechem are multifaceted, encompassing ethical, cultural, and theological dimensions. This episode provides a profound exploration of the complexities of justice and honor in the biblical context, and its reverberations are felt throughout the narrative of the Israelites. It challenges readers to consider the ethical boundaries of retribution, the importance of prudence and foresight, and the enduring potential for redemption and transformation within the framework of divine justice. Dinah's legacy, though framed by tragedy, holds significant lessons and enduring impacts on the narrative of the Israelites. Her story is a poignant reminder of the complexities of familial relationships, honor, and justice within the biblical context. While Dinah herself does not have a prominent ongoing narrative in the Bible, the repercussions of her story resonate through her family's history and the broader narrative of Israel. Dinah's experience underscores the vulnerability of women in ancient societies and the extreme measures taken to protect family honor. Her defilement by Shechem and the subsequent violent retribution by her brothers, Simeon and Levi, highlight the severe social and moral codes of the time. These events illustrate the precarious position of women and the lengths to which their male relatives would go to defend their honor, reflecting broader cultural norms and the deeply ingrained values of family and purity. The violent actions of Simeon and Levi, while intended to restore honor, led to significant consequences for the family. Jacob's condemnation of their brutality and his prophecy that they would be scattered among the tribes of Israel indicate the long-term impact of their actions. This dispersion of the tribes of Simeon and Levi, as foretold by Jacob, serves as a stark reminder of the lasting consequences of violence and the complexities of justice. The tribe of Levi, despite its violent beginnings, was later set apart for priestly duties, highlighting themes of redemption and transformation. Dinah's story also contributes to the broader themes of justice and retribution in the Bible. The ethical dilemmas posed by her defilement and the response of her brothers raise questions about the limits of retribution and the nature of true justice. These themes are explored throughout the biblical narrative, offering insights into the tensions between human actions and divine will. Dinah's legacy, therefore, is not just about her personal experience, but also about the broader moral and ethical questions that her story evokes. In a broader sense, Dinah's story is a testament to the resilience and complexity of human relationships and societal norms. It serves as a reminder of the harsh realities faced by women in ancient times and the intense familial bonds that dictated responses to such crises. Her legacy is woven into the fabric of the Israelite narrative, contributing to the understanding of justice, honor, and family dynamics in the biblical world. Dinah's legacy also offers valuable lessons for contemporary readers. It challenges modern audiences to reflect on issues of gender, honor, and justice in their contexts. The story prompts discussions about the protection of the vulnerable, the consequences of violence, and the pursuit of justice in a way that upholds dignity and respect for all individuals. These lessons are timeless, resonating with readers across generations and cultures. In conclusion, Dinah's legacy, though shaped by a tragic event, holds enduring significance within the biblical narrative. Her story illuminates the complexities of justice, honor, and family dynamics, offering profound lessons that continue to resonate today. Dinah's legacy challenges us to reflect on our values and actions, encouraging a pursuit of justice that respects and upholds the dignity of all individuals. We've journeyed through the life of Dinah, a story woven with threads of tragedy, honor, and profound familial bonds. Her tale is more than just an ancient narrative. It's a mirror reflecting the complexities of human emotions, justice, and the powerful dynamics within a family. Dinah's legacy, though marked by sorrow, offers us a chance to reflect on our own values and the lengths we go to protect those we love. As we consider Dinah's story, let's think about the balance between justice and mercy, the importance of protecting the vulnerable, and the ways we can uphold honor in our own lives. This isn't just about looking back, but also about drawing lessons that resonate with our present and future. If you found this journey through Dinah's story insightful, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future explorations. Also, feel free to click on one of the videos above to continue your journey into the rich tapestry of biblical history. Let's close with a prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the lessons we learn from the stories in your word. Help us to reflect on the story of Dinah with hearts full of compassion and minds open to understanding. Guide us in seeking justice with mercy, protecting those who are vulnerable, and living lives that honor you. May we draw strength and wisdom from your teachings, and may our actions reflect your love and grace. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.